Okay, so if you've got anything soft, like a pillow or anything, you might need that just for, you don't have to have it, but just for the first pose. Normally, I say a couple of blocks, pillows, cushions, rolled up blanket or towel. So if you've got any of those things together, yeah, just have them nice and close for this one. All the poses will be held for around 3 minutes today. Yeah, so that we can get nice and deep into the connective tissues. And most of the poses are going to be targeting opening up the hips and releasing the lower back. So, welcome to everybody that has just joined. Hello, Linda. Nice to have you here. Yeah, and we will get started. So, let me just have a little swig. Always have to have a little swig first. I've got some lemon and lime slices today in my water, and it's actually really refreshing to just have plain water. Okay, so we're going to start today's practice in our bound angle pose. So come to bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees fall apart. Try not to bring the feet too close in towards the body. We want to be nice and fairly loose and comfortable here. So yeah, just kind of play around with that distance, get nice and comfortable. Sitting bones really want to be nice and comfortable. You can cushion your bottom if you feel that you need to, and you can also have some support underneath the knees if that also feels good for you today. But if you have got a pillow, I said if you've got something soft, we're just going to rest that on the feet. So you don't have to do this, but this is just a nice little addition to this pose. And then when you're ready, we're just going to inhale, just slowly lengthen the spine up. And then as we exhale, we're just going to slowly just lower the chest forward. Remember, any amount is good here. Just start to feel that lower back just open and release here. And then you can just rest your forearms on that soft pillow, or maybe if you haven't got the pillow, you might just want to just rest the forearms down next to the feet. Maybe turn the palms up. That might be quite nice as well today. And then wherever you are, just allow your head and your neck just to round forward. And then just start to breathe nice and steady and even. Start to think about where it is that you're feeling the most sensation as you sit in your bound angle pose. And just try to focus your attention on that area and breathing into it. So sending the air circulating around the back of those hips. Maybe you're feeling it more in the lower back. It might even be that you're feeling it in the groin as well. And then really trying to let go and release as you exhale. Close the eyes here if that serves you well today. And then opening up the hips can be a great stress reliever. So if you have been holding some tension, if you have been having some stress, then this is a great time to try and just let it go. Try to release it. You might find as well after a minute or so being in this pose that you feel that gravity is just gently pulling the chest a little closer down. So just go with it if that's what you feel. Just taking your final breath now in this pose. So nice full breath in through the nose. One final let go. And then really slowly and steadily just use your hands to just lift yourself back up to your seat. And then keeping your feet as they are, just pop your hands behind your back. Maybe have your fingertips facing towards your body. You might want to come down onto the palms and just gently lean back here. So you can walk the hands back a little further if you feel that you really want to kind of open up the chest a little bit here as well. So just go as far back as feels good. Just taking a few breaths, maybe take your gaze up as well. Wonderful. And then if you did have that pillow on your feet, any props at all, just move them out of the way. And then we're just going to bring the knees up, feet flat to the floor, and then just do those little leg swishes. So you can just keep those hands behind your back, really steady and slow, nice and loosely, lifting the legs up and then switching sides. Wonderful. Just bring yourself back up to a seat and we're going to swing the legs around behind us. Taking your time, you're going to make your way into a tabletop position. So we're going to do some cat-cow, but we're going to go super, super slow with our cat-cow. So just make sure that your wrists are under the shoulders, knees underneath those hips. And then when you're ready, super, super slow. Inhale, slowly dropping the belly. Let the chest come forwards. Take the gaze up. Hold it here. And then on your next exhale, again, super, super slow, rounding the back. Drawing your chin in. Inhale, slowly, slowly, lowering that belly. Lifting the chest, lift your heart, let it shine forward. And then exhale, rounding the back. Inhale, drop that belly, super, super slow. Go as slow as you can, think snail's pace. And once you reach the top, hold it there. Keep breathing though, so don't hold your breath. On that exhale, slowly, slowly rounding the back again. And then just bringing your back nice and steadily back to your tabletop position. Lovely. From here, we're going to go into a Sphinx pose. We're going to be in this posture for quite a while. We're going to have a little bit of a frog variation there. So yeah, this is going to be what's really going to open up your hips today. So if you have got any props, bring them up to the top of your mat. And then just walk the knees back one step, slowly lower your hips down towards the mat, coming onto your belly, slide those forearms forward, making sure that your elbow is underneath your shoulder here. Legs are about hip distance apart. If you need to have a prop underneath your belly, so whether that's a cushion or a block, just to take a little bit of pressure off that back bend so it's not as quite as deep, you can do so. And then we're just going to be here in our Sphinx posture first. So spread those fingertips nice and wide. We're going to drive the shoulder blades down the back. Just take a soft gaze out ahead, or you can close the eyes here. And then we want to be taking that focus to that lower back, the back of your hips. trying to fully relax through your bottom and your legs. So if you just let your buttocks go, let your glutes go, you'll find that your legs just relax in turn. Keep the breath soft here. So keep trying to bring that focus back to releasing tension, relieving stress. So if you feel your mind wandering, bring it back to the body, bring it back to the breath. So just your last 30 seconds in your Sphinx for the moment. And then we're going to incorporate a little bit of a frog here. Wonderful. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, just bring your arms down in front and just come into that prone position just for a moment. So just lowering all the way down, just taking a little bit of pressure off the shoulders here, off the arms. Just take a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself back up into that Sphinx posture. And then you're going to take your right leg and you are going to frog leg it out to the side. So just the right leg. So knee wants to be in line with your hip here. If you need to have some cushioning, so maybe a pillow or something underneath your knee, then yeah, please do so. A block might be a little bit too much in this position, but just play around with it if you feel that you do need that extra cushioning or support. And then just keep facing forward. You're going to feel an opening up now on the right side of your hip and your lower back. So in turn, and working together here. Nice steady breaths here. So again, trying to be nice and relaxed as well in your legs here. So just check in. You might be kind of clenching or tightening up there. Just try and let it go. Both legs, just really trying to relax them. Wonderful. Now, staying as you are with your legs, keeping the legs as is, you're going to lower yourself down onto the floor. You're going to bend your right arm just so you can rest your head on your right arm, but your left arm is going to thread the needle. So you're going to send that left arm coming onto that left shoulder, left ear, and then just look down, resting your forehead on your right arm. So just relax the hand here, relax the fingers of your left hand. Breathing nice and steady, so making sure that you're not holding your breath. Keep that breath soft. Lovely. Just take your final breath in this position. So full breath in and out. And then just slowly start to unravel your arm. Bring those arms back into that Sphinx posture again, and then send that right leg back out behind you. Just give the hips a little rock from side to side, just to give a little bit of a relief there. Bring it back to that Sphinx posture. Just check in, make sure that your elbows are in the right place before we take the leg to the other side. And then when you're ready, you're going to frog leg that left leg out to the side. So knee and hip want to be in line, knee and ankle want to be in line. Again, if you need that cushioning or support underneath that left knee, then please go for it. Do whatever you need to do. This is your practice, so do what feels good for you. Lower those shoulders, so keep those shoulders nice and low, and remember to try to fully relax in the legs. So just let them go, tune into that part of the body, and then just see if you are holding, even if it's just a little bit, just let it go. So taking that little thread the needle to the other side, keeping the legs as they are. You're going to bend into that left arm that's going to come above the head, and then we're going to thread the right arm underneath the left coming onto right shoulder, right ear, and then just resting your forehead down onto that arm. Breathe nice and steady, just trying to fully let go. Lovely. Just take your final full breath in and out here. And then slowly just start to unthread your needle. Bring those arms just back to that Sphinx posture. Send that left leg back behind you. Let's give the hips a little bit of a rock again from side to side, just a couple of times. And then slide the hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, and just slowly lift yourself up to that tabletop position. From here, you're going to bring your big toes into touch, and we're going to send the knees nice and wide. So as wide as feels comfortable, maybe as wide as your mat. You can use your blocks, pillows, whatever props you need. Maybe pop them in underneath the sitting bone here. And then we're going to come down forward, let the chest come down to the floor, forehead down into our wide leg child's pose. So you can take the arms as well quite wide here. So have the arms stretched up overhead and then just take them wide. Maybe take them as wide as well as your mat. Allow those forearms to just rest down. Get a nice little stretch underneath your armpits as well here. And then just start to breathe. Allow your lower back to release here over your legs. Allow gravity to just pull, gently pulling the belly down towards the mat. Feel that opening around both your hip joints. Last 30 seconds in your child pose. So really just try to let go here. Release through those hips, release through that lower back. And then when you're ready here, using your hands, just slowly lift yourself up out of your child's pose. Let's remove any props that we might have been using here. And then we're going to slide the hands forward, coming back to that tabletop position just for a moment. And then we're going to go into our pigeon pose from here. So we're going to start with the right knee. Slide that right knee to the back of your right hand, setting up for pigeon pose. You're going to just send that left leg back a little further. If you need to use props here, block, pillow can go underneath your right sitting bone here just for some support. You also might want to cushion that front knee as well, it really depends. But if you do cushion that front knee, use something that's fairly flat. So we're just going to start with an upright pigeon here. So you can be on your palms here. You can come up onto the fingertips. So this is quite nice for kind of leveraging you up, lifting the chest forward, keeping a nice flat back. Or you might want to take the arms wide, as we did with our child's pose, just taking that wider stance with the arms. So this can make it feel quite relaxed as well. So we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to have the option to take it deeper into our sleeping pigeon or sleeping swan. So just staying nice and upright first. Make sure that those shoulder blades are nice and low, tops of the shoulders away from the face. And then let's really breathe into the hips here, breathing into that psoas muscle, that big muscle where we do hold a lot of our tension. And releasing this muscle on a regular basis can really help improve your flexibility, but also help you deal with that stress a little better. So you can stay here in this upright pigeon, or you can take it a little lower, a little deeper, and then just start to come down onto the forearms. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you come all the way down in the forehead, just rest down on your arms, maybe bringing the forehead down to all the way down to the mat. If you do go that little bit deeper, make sure that you're listening to your body. So once you get down there, if it starts to feel uncomfortable, if you feel that you can't stay within the pose, then just come out of it. Don't feel you have to stay there all the way to the end. Don't feel that once you commit, you've got to stay there forever. No, we can always change our minds and bring it back. So remember always that this is your practice, your body. So we do whatever we can to suit our own bodies. Move in a way that suits your own body. Inhale nice and deeply. If your head was down, just lifting yourself back up into your high pigeon. And then we're going to slowly transition ourselves back to our tabletop. So just sliding that right knee back, really taking your time here. Coming to that tabletop position, and then we're just going to do some hip circles here, nice big hip circles. So just rotating the hips back down towards the heel. And then going out to the side, bringing yourself forward. Lovely. Just do 2 or 3 on one side. Send that circle in the opposite direction. Fabulous. Back to that tabletop position, and then slowly sliding the left knee behind the left hand this time. Send that right leg back this time. If you used any props on the left side, change them over and do exactly the same as you did On the other side, keep it all nice and equal here. And then again, those options with the arms, so you can be on your palms here. We can be up on the fingertips, so this is really nice, just elevates the chest. Gets a little deeper into a bit of a back bend as well, but nice and gently. But then also, if you want to stay on the palms, maybe take those palms nice and wide. Taking a few breaths here. Send that breath into the hips. And if you opted to not use a block or a prop underneath your sitting bone, you will probably find the longer you stay in this pose, you'll start to feel that the mat starts to get closer towards your leg, so the back of your thigh towards that sitting bone. Lovely. And then if you did go deeper on the other side, we're going to start to transition down onto the forearms now. Take it to the forearm first, see how you feel, and then maybe take it that little bit deeper if your hips will allow, if your knees will allow today. And it's quite okay to feel much tighter one side than the other. So maybe the other side you're way more open, and then this side you're a bit tighter. That's perfectly fine. Do not hold any judgment for yourself here. Lovely. If you was in your sleeping swan, inhale, just slowly lifting yourself back up. Nice and upright first, taking your time, and then everyone, we're going to tuck the back toes and then slowly sliding that left knee back to our tabletop position. And then we're going to do those hip circles again. So nice big hip circles, big rotations back down towards the heels, just releasing a little tension around the tops of your thighs, around your hips. Lovely. Just bring it back to your tabletop. We're just going to come now to sit on the back of the heels. Swing the legs out in front, and we're going to come into a fire log pose. So if this pose is a little too much for you today, then go back to the bound angle pose and just stay there for as we go through this. What was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say. Fire log pose. There we go. I had a complete mind blank there. So yeah, bound angle pose is a great alternative to this pose. So we are going to take the right leg out first in front. So you're going to have your shin facing forward. And then we're going to take the left ankle, we're going to place it on top of your right knee. So with fire log, we'll have this, maybe have this gap in between the foot and the knee. This is perfectly normal. You can use props here to kind of cushion that and support that knee. So we can be like this. We can also use our hand to just gently push down so you can see how that feels. That might feel good to you, it might not, so it all depends. It might be that both of your knees are kind of up like this. This is the position that you're in, so they're both hovering off the floor, which is then when you would want to kind of use some sort of support for your fire log. If both your knees are up, then I wouldn't push the other knee down towards the foot, just because there's quite a big distance there. You don't want to over pull on your hip joint here. So yeah, if you are up in the air, just maybe try and support both knees, or you can support this lower one and then just sit up nice and tall like that. If you are able to go into a full fire log and have one shin stacked on top of the other, then you have got the option here to kind of move forward. So we're going to lengthen up, and then as you exhale, you're just gently going to lean forward, pop the hands down in front of you, only come down as far as feels good. You're going to feel quite an intense stretch around your hips, so quite low down in your hips as well. So only go as far as feels comfortable, and make sure that if you are coming forward, that both your sitting bones are nice and connected to the floor. So wherever you are, just stay within the pose, breathe within it. We're all going to probably be in different stages of this pose, and that's perfectly fine. Nice steady breaths here, sending that breath into wherever it is that you feel the most sensation. So where is it? Can you pinpoint that area? It might be more than one area. So if it is, then just, let that breath just flow around. Release as you exhale. And do a little check-in as well with the rest of the body. So just make sure that you're not clenching your jaw, holding the belly in, like gripping through the belly. All things that we tend to do when, we're in kind of positions that are a little tight or a little restrictive. We kind of hold in other places. So just taking our last 30 seconds in this pose. Maybe breathe a little deeper, allow each exhale to release that little bit more. Lovely. Let's come out of the pose wherever you are and just release those legs. Just take your time. This is going to feel really nice to release your legs now, wherever you were. And then let's pop the hands behind the back. Just do those little leg swishes again from side to side. Nice and steady, nice and slow. And then we're going to transition to the other side. So this time that left foot is going to come out in front, so that shin is facing forward, and then right foot is going to go on top of that left knee. And it's quite normal for, like I said, when we was in pigeon pose, for one side to be much more tighter than the other. So yeah, just play around with those props, just see how you go with it, if you need props at all. Just taking your time to get into the pose. Once you arrive wherever you are, we're going to be lengthening up through the spine. And then staying in that upright position, or maybe you're just walking the hands forward, just gently lowering the chest slightly. If you did walk the hands forward, you might not be able to walk them as far this time. Maybe you can walk them further. So it's just listening to the body. So a really good way to see if you've pushed a little too far is your breath. So if your breath is really shallow and you're unable to kind of regulate that, then that's a sign that you've just taken it a little bit too far and you just need to dial it back. So maybe bring the hands back, or wherever it is that you are, just bringing it back slightly. So the breath is always a really good indicator, because if you're someone that is hypermobile, so you've got that super flexibility, you don't always know that you've taken it too far. And that's when we get injuries, which we really don't want. We want this to be a nice therapeutic practice for our bodies and our minds. So just taking your last 30 seconds now. So you can breathe a little deeper if you feel the need. Really trying to let go that little bit more with each exhale. And then super slow, wherever you are, just slowly bringing yourself out of the pose. Oh God, my legs. Slowly releasing the legs. Popping the hands behind the back, and then back to those little leg swishes again. So nice and gentle, nice and loose. This is going to feel really good. Oh yeah. Really just giving some relief in the tops of the thighs and the hips here. Wonderful. And then you'll be pleased to know that we're going to transition our way down onto our backs now. So nice and steady. Take your time getting there. Have your props just close by. We might just need them in a moment. So just taking your time, getting down onto your back. And then you're going to keep the knees bent here, feet flat to the floor. You can have a cushion or a block here just to let the knees fall onto, so entirely up to you. But what we're going to do is we're just going to loosely let the knees fall to the floor. So no drawing the knees into the chest or anything, just keeping the feet flat to the floor, and then just letting them just kind of fall over to the right side. So you might find that you have a gap in between your knees. You might find that both knees are kind of hovering. So there's option to support the knee, maybe even pop something in between the knees. That might feel quite good. Entirely up to you. And then we're just going to take our gaze up today. So keeping the gaze up, allow the chest to be nice and open here. And send those arms out in either a T shape or maybe cactus the arms up. That might feel good as well today. You can take some deeper breaths here into the belly. Let's transition to the other side now. So when you're ready, just engage the core slightly. Inhale slowly, bring those knees back up to center. Let the feet just land back on the floor. And then just let the legs just gently fall to the left side. Doesn't matter how they land, just let them land. Use any props if you feel you need to. Keep your arms as they were. Keep your gaze up. You can obviously close the eyes if you need to. Allow your body to start to become quite heavy now. So just slightly engage your core here. And then inhale as you slowly bring the knees back up to center. And then we're going to go into our final resting pose. You can just bring your arms back down by your sides just for a moment. And our final resting pose is actually going to be our reclined bound angle today. So allow the feet to come together, soles of the feet together, letting the knees fall apart, and make this pose super comfortable for yourself. So if you want to pop a cushion underneath your head, then do so. If you want to use some props underneath your knees just to give a little bit of extra comfort, extra support, then do so as well. You can just do your normal reclined bound angle if you prefer. We're going to send the arms up overhead again here, nice and relaxed. And then we're going to start to breathe a little deeper here. Allow your body to become fully heavy now in this pose. Relax your legs as much as possible. Allow your sacrum to become nice and heavy against the floor. Allow your belly to become soft, your chest and your ribs to become soft also. Allow the shoulder blades and your spine to become heavy. Allow them to sink into the floor. Relax your arms and your shoulders, your neck and your head. Allow all the little facial muscles to fully relax also. Relax your brow, your cheeks and your temples. Relaxing your jaw and allowing your tongue to just rest on the roof of your mouth. And just for this last minute or so in your Shavasana, just keep thinking of letting go, releasing any more tension that might be left around your hip area. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Allowing each exhale to fully lead you into deeper relaxation. So you can stay within your Shavasana for as long as you need to. Otherwise, you can end the practice with me now. So just let's start by moving the fingers, just wiggling the fingers and the hands first. And then slowly bringing your arms down by your sides. If you've got any props underneath your knees, just slowly move them out of the way. And then draw your knees in. Send the legs out straight just for a moment. Let's do a nice full body stretch here. So stretching the arms up overhead and stretching all the way down and out through your toes. Keeping your eyes closed. Let's slowly transition onto our sides. And then when you're ready, just slowly bringing yourself up into a comfortable seat. Once you arrive in your seat, just take a moment to tune into how your body is feeling right now. Notice if you feel more open. Notice if some of that stress has been relieved. And notice any new sensations or any subtle sensations that you might be feeling around your hips and your lower back. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you let it go, let's just blink open the eyes. Lovely, just taking a moment to take in your surroundings. Wonderful. And that brings us to the close of this yin practice today. So I really do hope that you've enjoyed it.